Coming up on Mustang News, we'll highlight key points of President Armstrong's vision for 2022.
Softball season is coming down to the wire. Find out who they play next.
And we'll take a look at the unique cabaret show opening on campus this weekend.
Broadcasting from Studio 300 on Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Mustang News.
For our weekly broadcast of Mustang News, I'm Jonas Giesel.
And I'm Leah Horner. Mustang News starts now. President Armstrong gave his keynote address on May 2nd, revealing his vision for Cal Poly's future. Armstrong says an increase in diversity will be a positive impact for students. He says he doesn't just want to better the school, but also improve the communication within the community. An increase of involvement throughout Cal Poly is a key aspect in the address.
2022, we'll at least be building a pub. We'll probably have a hotel conference center.
President Armstrong says he wants to bring change to campus. One thing he wants to keep the same is having Cal Poly on the quarter system.
President Armstrong announced a number of proposed changes in his keynote address last week. One of those potentially includes putting a pub on campus. The president and university officials began talking about the possibilities of a pub on campus back in October 2013. The university's alcohol policy would have to be changed in order to accommodate a pub. Cal Poly is known as a dry campus, but there are still places on campus that serve alcohol. Krukov's Clubhouse at the baseball field and Thage Restaurant are two places on campus that currently serve alcohol.
I think by 2022, we'll at least be building a pub. We'll probably have a hotel conference center.
Although Armstrong brought up the idea of an on-campus pub, university spokesman Matt Lazier said there are no current plans to build one. For more information, check out the full story on mustangnews.net. Some of Cal Poly's biggest donors and supporters were on campus Friday night. Mallory St. George takes us inside a night of green and gold.
Performances of all kinds took place last Friday when the past and present Cal Poly community came together for a night of green and gold. The second annual Green and Gold Student Showcase and Dinner stirred up a lot of Cal Poly pride for the alumni, donors, and supporters present. The event is held in honor of all the volunteers and donors that allow Cal Poly to thrive. It began at 5 p.m. in Chumash Auditorium, where guests were able to visit exhibits from all different groups on campus. Supporters enjoyed plenty of hors d'oeuvres and drinks, met students, and had the opportunity to learn about their projects.
It's very beneficial to us as a community that we can see what we have achieved and what we can achieve in the future.
At 7 p.m., President Armstrong announced that it was time to move on to the dinner portion of the event. All right, everybody's cleared out of Chumash now, and we're heading over to Mott Gym for the Green and Gold dinner. RTD2, you ready to go? I think that means yes. Armstrong spoke more about his vision for Cal Poly. Guests were served a 3-course dinner, and a variety of entertainment was provided.
A wonderful evening filled with a lot of exciting performances, great conversations with supporters and students, great celebration of Cal Poly.
Mallory St. George, Mustang News.
One surprise of the night was the opportunity for guests to meet the newest Cal Poly mascot, Moonstar, the Mustang. The Mustang, along with 2 others, was waiting to greet guests on their way to dinner.
The next ASI president is preparing for her position next year.
One has hit me, and I'm okay with that.
Joy Sullivan is graduating with a political science major as a 3rd year this spring and continuing at Cal Poly for grad school when she will start her presidency. Sullivan wants students to know ASI represents the student body.
Student government is here for them, not for themselves. And that with that comes student government being a very passionate, motivated, hardworking team.
Sullivan has been part of ASI for 2 years, is a College of Liberal Arts ambassador, is the co-president of the Political Science Honor Society, and is a College of Liberal Arts peer advisor. She says the community is what inspired her to come to Cal Poly and become involved.
People are just really naturally friendly and are willing to talk to you so easily, and I love that. Because I'm that kind of person, and so I think when I came and visited and saw that, that's kind of what drew me towards this community.
Joy may be the future professional face of the student body, but she also has a quirky side.
The sound that apples make, that when you crunch into them, most people love it. I cannot handle it. Like, thinking about it, I get the chills. My sisters always used to eat apples right next to my ear and totally drive me up the wall.
Joy has one fact she wants all students to know for next year.
My door is always open to anyone. No matter who you are, no matter if you're part of a group on campus or not, like, I'd love to chat with anyone who's interested.
Leah Horner, Mustang
there's
News.
a little musty doll in there that has...
During the campaign period, Joy decorated the school with her name, had a free barbecue on Dexter, and changed the P to spell joy.
What started as a senior project is now a small business, thanks to the Slow Hothouse. Reporter Morgan Butler visited the startup to check out an app promising to transform your garden.
The idea began as a senior project, and David Harms never imagined it going further. That is until he signed up for Slow Hothouse's Accelerator program. The Hothouse provides much-needed office space for small startups, as well as mentorship and guidance.
You know, every day we're learning something in here about business, not from a business background, so you know, marketing and finances and incorporating and all these different aspects of business, it's all a learning game, and there's lots of failures and picking yourself back up, but I think that's the point.
David's app Prelim is an augmented reality platform which allows you to design and landscape your garden right from your mobile device.
You know, I thought, how great would it be if somebody could grab the eyes kind of a landscape architect or a designer and understand what you know, different plants are going to grow like and how to take care of them in a very visual way. Ones for this space.
Users can drag 3D models from an extensive plant library onto their existing garden to see how it'll look. Prelim also features a growth slider which allows you to visualize what the plants will look like in up to 10 years. David never imagined owning his own business right after he graduated from college, but he has no plans of stopping.
You know, as long as I can continue to be in a role where it feels like we're empowering people, especially in terms of gardening and landscaping, you know, I'm all for it. So just kind of as long as we can push it.
Morgan Butler, Mustang News.
Prelim's software launch is today and it's available for download from the App Store. The Hothouse is also currently seeking a new location to expand. Coming up, Cal Poly students are working on an app to help you skip the coffee line.
Starfish, sea urchins, and other creatures are out to play this weekend. We'll tell you where, coming up next.
Knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything...
It is I, Cruz Zinkorbell. Yeah. Okay, time for cake.
It's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. and everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie, if you want me to, like, you know, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
The San Luis Obispo community will be gathering in Avila Beach this weekend. The Cal Poly Pier in Avila will be hosting its annual open house this Saturday, May 9th. From 9 a.m. to noon, the pier will be open for all to discover more about marine life. There will be touch tanks with sea creatures, microscopes for checking out those extra small ones, and other displays. Professors and students will be there to explain research about Morro Bay's ecosystem, local fisheries, and other places on the Central Coast. The tour requires all to wear closed-toed shoes.
A local business owner opened a new water hole in downtown Slough. Downtown Buba opened its doors this past weekend. The business is located on Garden Street in between Higuera and Marsh and has over 30 different types of drinks. Downtown.
Yeah, I've had this idea for about 3 years, bringing downtown boba here to downtown. You know, I wanted to mix my experience for Mediterranean food with, you know, the Asian fusion of the drink and really come up with a cool place, a cool concept. So basically, we're like boba meets the Middle East. We have boba drinks, which are, you know, all over the Far East. We also do Turkish coffee, Persian tea, and baklava. We also do dessert crepes.
Downtown Boba stays open until 11 p.m. on weekdays and extend those hours 2 a.m. on the weekends. A Cal Poly club is celebrating after a successful trip to Texas for a car manufacturing competition. The Society for Automotive Engineers, or SAE, competed against over 100 other groups from around the world. They received 9th place in their overall performance category. Ag Business junior Chris Taylor came in first place in the sales pitch portion of the competition.
That I used to start off with our mission statement. I said, we are Cal Poly engineering geniuses and off-road enthusiasts who strive to give our customers the most reliable, safest, easy to use, and fun off-road driving experience on the market.
Taylor attributes his win to over 50 hours of preparation and also his charm. There's a new app in development which could allow you to skip the line next time you get coffee. Reporter Morgan Butler met with 2 of the students who are designing the app.
The concept came from Startup Weekend, an easy way to order coffee and skip the wait. The pitch was for an app that would allow you to order your coffee right from your phone and pick it up when it's ready, skipping the line. And while the competition only requires a mock-up, the team of 5 Cal Poly students decided to go a step further and actually create the app.
The idea of the app is the minimal amount of clicks you would need to get your coffee. So you've picked your store, and now all within one screen, you're able to customize as many drinks as you want, add them to your order, and then check out all right there.
Their business pitch got them second in the competition, but the team is looking to take the app even further.
So what Espresso we're trying to do is make it so it opens mom and pop shops everywhere. We're starting in Slough, but we're going to try to open up the mobile space for coffee shops everywhere.
The team hopes their unique design sets them apart from other coffee shop apps available.
What we're trying to deliver, though, is much more user coffee shop interaction. So for example, you place your order, but then you're also notified when it's being made. The barista is receiving a picture of you. So you're not losing any of that interaction you would get from going to the store, you're just skipping the line.
The first coffee shop in San Luis Obispo to use Espresso will be Black Horse in downtown. The team is also trying to implement the app at Julian's Coffee on campus. Morgan Butler, Mustang News.
The team hopes to launch the app by the end of this quarter.
Dreams of playing professional football are on the line for thousands of college players across the country tonight, and 3 of those players are on the Cal Poly campus. After months of working out in front of NFL scouts, defensive tackle Sullivan Gross, linebacker Johnny Millard, and receiver Cole Stanford will be glued to their televisions tonight to see if they are chosen in the 2014 NFL Draft. Millard played in 2 All-Star games this offseason, the Medal of Honor Bowl and the East-West Shrine Game. Gross, who did not miss a game in his 4-year career, had a strong NFL Pro Day in the weeks leading up to the draft.
But I don't look the same on film. I just look like another guy. And for them to see me in person, see my numbers, see my height, see my strength, and my explosiveness is what I really wanted. Because I knew if I got him here, which is what I wanted my agents to do, if I got him here, that they were going to like me. So.
The draft starts tonight at 7 p.m., live from New York City on ESPN and NFL Network. Coming up, we'll have Lisa Diaz in the studio to tell us about temperatures and how they're going to drastically change. After the break, she'll tell you if it will heat up or cool down.
Let's go on the internet.
Let's go. Click it.
Yes.
Okay.
I cursor in between the R and the E. When I say dot, I want you to just push the period.
She's gonna love me all over again now.
That's it. Jamaica, here you come.
Here we go.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I did it by myself. Feel smarter.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet. 50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me. What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates? Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
All right, we have Lisa Diaz in the studio with the weather. Lisa.
Thank you, Giannis and Leah. So let's take a look at this. The 5-day forecast. Now, this is really important because I know that you've been enjoying those cooler temperatures, but it's about to heat up here. So let's take a look at today. So going forward, today or tomorrow actually, it's going to be 67, so still very cool. And then Saturday, it's going to warm up. So, you see that 1 degree increase. Well, it's more degrees are coming. Then we're going to go to Sunday where it's going to be 74, so mid-70s, a great temperature, nice for outdoor activities, outdoor gatherings, perfect. And then continuing on to Monday, that's when the heat is really going to come in. So it's going to be 84 degrees on Monday. And then on to Tuesday, it's going to stay in the 80s. Now, let's take a look at our weather map and see what the temperatures are like around the county today. So going north up into Paso Robles, right there, it's going to be 76 today. So again, usually it's a little warmer in North County, down to Tascadero where it's 72. And then out to the coast, Los Osos, where it's in the low 60s, a little cooler. Of course, there's that marine layer coming in. And then San Luis Obispo right here, a nice cool 67 before the heat really comes on its way. Down to Arroyo Grande where it's 65, very similar to here. And then out to Avila Beach, 65. And then down to Nipomo, it's going to heat up a little bit if you go south, 67. And then 68 in Santa Maria. Now, back to you at the desk. Thank you, Leah.
Thanks so much, Lisa. Sounds like it's going to be great. Well, coming up next, we're going inside the Mustang courts to find out why the men's tennis team is headed to take on a national powerhouse.
Coming up, we catch up with a Cal Poly baseball player. Hear what he has to say about this weekend series against rival UC Irvine.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet. 50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me. What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates. Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
This is my computer.
This is your computer. Let's go on the internet.
Let's go. Click it.
Yes.
Okay.
I cursor in between the R and the E. If I say dot, I want you to just push the period.
She's gonna love me all over again now.
That's it. Jamaica, here you come.
Here we go.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I did it by myself. Feel smarter.
Well, we've got Julian Delgadio in the studio with us today to tell us a little bit about some sports.
Thank you, Leah. This weekend, Cal Poly Baseball takes the field with a shot of hosting a regional playoff series on the line. We went out to see how the Mustangs are preparing for conference-leading UC Irvine, and we sat down with one of the team's key players.
I've been playing baseball since I've been walking. Or at least as long as I can remember, I've been playing.
At 19 years old, second baseman Mark Mathias has a lot to be proud of.
I play a lot of games at first base last year. I could play third, I could play short, I could play second. I could play around the infield, so kind of a utility guy. So.
Mark's offensive game hasn't looked too shabby either, with a batting average over .450 and an on-base percentage of above .500.
Earlier in the fall, I pulled my hamstring, and then last past week at Long Beach, I bruised my heel, so I was only out for a game. But now I'm just getting back to it. It feels good to be back on the horse again and playing with my team. But just a little minor setback for me, but I'm looking to play good this weekend.
The Mustangs' playoff hopes all come down to the next 3 games against rival UC Irvine.
Biggest series of the whole year. Irvine's at first, being I think 12 or 11-1. We're 2 games behind them, so if we can sweep them, we can come first and take the Big West. So it's really important.
Julian Delgadio, Mustang News. First pitch is against UC Irvine, set for 6 p.m. at Baggett Stadium on Friday. Softball is gearing up for their next series after sweeping Long Beach State this past weekend. The Mustangs are now in contention for being the Big West Conference champions with the possibility of earning the conference's automatic NCAA tournament invitation. The team must sweep UC Riverside this weekend in order to keep their hopes alive.
We've had not so many successful years in the past, and so for us seniors to be in the race until the last weekend, that's huge, and it's something that we're not willing to just give to anyone, so we're wanting to take it.
The Mustangs' first game of the series is this Friday at Bob Jansen Field. In order to win the conference, UC Santa Barbara or Long Beach State has to lose at least once in their series. For the second time in 3 years, Cal Poly men's tennis are playing for the Big West Championship. Lisa Diaz went out to the Mustang courts to find out their keys to success.
Good. Good. Nice. Good one.
I remember watching a video, I think it might have actually been something like this, of Andre before I came here, and he said that he really wanted to put Cal Poly tennis on the map and really make it a tennis school, and I think he did that.
The Cal Poly men's tennis team lost All-American Andre Dome in the offseason and didn't miss a volley. Freshman Ben Donovan came into the program as a 5-star recruit, took over the #1 singles spot, and now the team is headed to their second NCAA tournament in 3 years.
And you made quick work of guys who you shouldn't be beating, so it's really impressive. In our conference final, they actually beat the player of the conference in straight states easy, so when it mattered, Ben played really well.
Before getting to the top of his college game, Donovan played in different parts of the country and studied at tennis academies.
I went to the U.S. Open when I was about 6, and I loved it all the way up until I was about 12. But really, in high school, I was starting to get burnt out with it, and I got a scholarship for it and came here and really wasn't enjoying the sport that much. But once I got here, I started loving it again for sure.
And when Donovan saw Cal Poly, he knew that this was a place he could spend every day for the next 4 years, even off the courts.
I mean, what are we, like 10 miles from the beach or something, I don't think it ever drops below 60 degrees. It's just, as soon as I took my visit here, it's just everything about it is unreal.
But one thing that is real, Donovan's connection with his teammates, especially his doubles partner, Jurgen de Jager.
Because we play doubles together, so we had this pretty big point against Hawaii, and Ben served, and he made this really good volley, And he turned around and looked at me, wiped his hair off, and just looked in the air like this. And that was definitely the funniest moment.
Lisa Diaz, Mustang News.
The Mustangs will take on UCLA in round one of the NCAA tournament on Saturday at noon in Los Angeles.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Danse, balance sur la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
All right, we've got a lot of arts going on campus. Katie McDermott's here to tell us more about it.
Thanks, Leanne Giannis. The Multicultural Center hosted their final Another Type of Groove event of the school year last night. The slam poetry event, also known as ATOG, featured student poets and other artists from the community. Last night's featured poet was Brian Super B. Oliva from Los Angeles. Super B shared with us the importance of slam poetry.
The whole environment, the slam, kind of the competitive part makes for better writers. I think it's important because I don't know, people get to say something that could potentially change somebody else's life, you know, like through art. I think that's dope.
You can find more of Super B's poetry on superbpoetry.com and Twitter at superbpoetry. The next ATOG will be on the first Wednesday of fall quarter in 2014. The Black Cat Cabaret is opening on campus this weekend. The show is written by a Cal Poly dance teacher and is performed by 16 Cal Poly students. It is a 75-minute performance consisting of singing, dancing, monologues, and even some juggling. There is a loose storyline following the theme of love, but the show is more of a showcase for the many different types of acts.
But I kind of figured that if it had been right, I would have known.
Ever seen that is pure entertainment. You don't have to know anything about background. You'll just get to come and love what you see.
The Black Cat Cabaret runs May 8th through the 17th. Now we get an exclusive in-studio sneak peek of some Cal Poly alumni's newest project.
We are Próxima Parada,
also known as Proxima Parada.
1, 2, 3, 4!
We're all graduated from Cal Poly, and so we rode the bus a lot for it.
At every stop it says, now approaching Próxima Parada. And then it says to stop. Live and Johnson.
Well, I laid down last night, wrote my favorite song. We did an Indiegogo campaign to fundraise for this album.
So now we're on that back. Well, I played it all night long.
The cool thing about Porch Stomping is the fact that it really, I think, resonates with our view of San Luis Obispo. I mean, it's hard not to see someone smile. It's hard not to see people just really living life to the fullest.
So Leah, if we have 1 minute left, I
My favorite song on the album is probably "Did You See Him Go?" because it was a poem that my grandmother wrote about my grandpa after he passed, and Bryson and I set music to it, and it's just very meaningful to me.
debut album, Songs of Music.
It's coming out this summer, 2014.
That sounded great. You can catch Proxima Parada before their album release on May 17th at the Wine Festival in Paso Robles or next Thursday, May 22nd during UU Hour.
Thanks for watching our 30-minute broadcast of Mustang News.
We're done.
All right.
Well, guess that's it. What happens? All right. Ciao, everyone.